Hello, everyone. Welcome to Rose and Carter Do the JOB on Monday. Bully Boy Carter's picked today, Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff. Always a reliable, solid, fucking believable wrestler, right?
Yeah. Big name as well. He was a big name, like back then,
No
The
question.
80s was huge.
What he drew between him and Hogan was the biggest house show box office draw of, I believe, 1987. They had like 74,000 people at the big event it was called the big event when somewhere in Canada, outdoor thing.
Right.
So they fucking, he was headline name, no question. Paul Parlett Orndorff Jr. Parlette, Paul Parlett Jr. Orndorff Jr. Born October the 29th, 1949. So he's 71 in Brandon, Florida. Trained, he had a lot of four trainers: Bob Backlund, Eddie Graham, Jack Briscoe, and Hiro Matsuda. So like all four fucking, established names. I mean, I'm not the biggest Bob Backlund fan, but he's gonna fucking help you in the wrestling side of things, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
Eddie Graham, fucking legendary Florida promoter. Mike's dad. Jack Briscoe speaks for itself. Hiro Matsuda out-trained Hogan as well.
Yeah.
So there's some fucking big names there. Oh, here we go. Wrestled 76 to 2000.
Fucking hell, that's later than I thought, though. Like,
Yeah. I'm guessing the later years were sort of, less. But
yeah.
76 to 83 sort of pottered around the South, really. Mid-Southern wrestling. Went straight into a feud with Lawler early on. So that must have been pretty big because, Lawler, even in 76, was pretty fucking big. Went to the NWA where he feuded with the Mass Superstar, your old mate.
What year was that?
78.
All right.
December 78, tagged with Snuka to win the NWA World Tag Team titles. So 2 years in, he's fucking World Tag Team champion in the NWA. Not like fucking piss pot NWA, like proper NWA. 79 in Alabama, team with Dick Slater. That must have been a fucking dangerous team.
Yeah.
80 in Alabama and Mid-South. 82 in Georgia, where he feuded with Buzz Sawyer. That would have been fucking some leady shit going on. And also Matt Superstar in Georgia. His first trip to Japan was 82 as well. And then 83 to 88, he was in the WWF. Originally managed by Piper. Also managed by Bobby Heenan later on. And Sir Oliver Humperdinck, which I didn't know. It wasn't on Wikipedia, but I didn't know. One of the matches I watched, he was managed by Humperdinck. His WWF run, fuck me, that was I think what he's most known for, other than battering Vader in WCW. We said about the fucking house show run with Hogan, but it was WrestleMania 1 main event, hell of a match at WrestleMania 2. And then he had the arm injury, which we established kept him away from WrestleMania 3. But and then 88 to 90, it's a semi-retirement due to arm injury, which he got the year before. But he did potter around, the odd show here and there. 1990, wrestled Kerry Von Erich on an independent show. 90, he was in WCW, but only briefly. He was a babyface there with the Dudes with Attitudes team, who was Sting, Luger, Junkyard Dog, the Steiners, and Alicante. 90 to 93, independents, but they were good independents back then, weren't they? When you think about it, they were like fucking, wrestling was still hot in 1993, 90 to 93, really, compared to how it became now, right? So it was the UWF, the AWF, and the NWL. 92 was in Smoky Mountain. 92 to 2001, he had a hell of a stretch there, 9 years in WCW. Backstage as well. TV champion, tag champion with Roma, and an agent. Also in the Hall of Fame, he was at WrestleMania 30. He appeared on Raw for Hogan's birthday party in 2014, and he even wrestled a six-man tag in Canada in 2017, which shocked me. But good on him. He's been some places. He's done some stuff. And no one says that he's shit. Nobody. There's always someone that doesn't like someone, isn't there? And they might have heat with him for whatever reason, but no one says that, he wasn't a draw or he didn't do well or he wasn't good at what he did. So,
to be honest, though, like thinking back as well, like, from that era that me and you both like love watching, I can't really pick many guys that I didn't enjoy watching. Like, not like I enjoyed watching all of them, but there's not anybody I'm watching a pay-per-view from, let's say, 87. I'm like, skip this match, because they're all interesting to me. They might not be fucking up there.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I can't think of anyone, maybe a handful of people, but generally there's not really that many people I couldn't be, give a shit about. And he's from that era, so.
Whereas you watch a pay-per-view from WCW in 2000 and there's 2 matches out of the 9 that you really care about and you don't really give too much fucks about them.
So it's like the opposite of, yeah, definitely.
A 3-hour pay-per-view then was 2 hours and 45 minutes of wrestling, with entrances and shit, and you cared. It was must-see television. You wanted to get home. I used to tape it when it was on in the middle of the night and watch it, either get up early to watch it before school the next morning, and me getting up early is a fucking rarity, or you run home to watch it. You couldn't miss it. It was fucking just how it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What was your first, mate? I got 4 from 4 different promotions. Years wise, I'm a little bit off because there wasn't years on some of them, but they're pretty easy to tell where they were.
Yeah, mine's similar. I've got, I think that my first 2 haven't got dates. My second 2 have, but I know for a fact that, well, I'm 90% sure they're in order. But my first 2, I'm not too sure. My first one is from Mid-South against Ted DiBiase.
Fucking hell, that'd be a good one.
It says in the description that they believe it's from 82, but they don't know exactly. And my next match it just says they think it's from the early 80s, but I just kind of guessed it would be after this one. It might not be, but
thereabouts then, isn't it?
Yeah. So the first one's against Ted DiBiase. This was a good match. This was fucking brilliant. All right, I've literally just watched these in the past hour. I've literally just finished watching them this second. So yeah, they kick off strong tie up right around the ring. They're one of them tie ups where they're fucking not letting go and they're literally going all around the fucking ropes, not just to the corner where a lot of guys go. It's literally all around the fucking ring tying up. Then they finally break. Headlock by Orndorff, shot off, tackle. I like this little spot here. So they go into a little sequence where Orndorff's got the headlock on. DiBiase shoots him off. He comes back, he tackles DiBiase, hits the ropes. DiBiase leaps, hits the ropes again. As he comes back, DiBiase goes down for like a fucking backdrop, but Orndorff gives him a small package, which was a bit different, kicked out on the 2 count there. That was quite a nice little spot, that was. And then they go back into a headlock, but this time it's by DiBiase. So
is DiBiase the baby face here?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So hang on, wait.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just trying to picture the scene.
Yeah. DiBiase was the baby face. Yeah. So So they go back into it. So this time it's DiBiase with a headlock. He gets shot off the ropes, and fucking Orndorff just nails him in the guts with a punch. Kablam! Fucking. And then after he's nailed DiBiase with a punch to the guts, he puts the headlock back on. So Orndorff's got the head again. Shot off, tackles DiBiase. DiBiase sleeps. Then he ducks down again, DiBiase. Instead of going for the small package this time, Orndorff does a sunset flip, but DiBiase sits down on it, you know what I mean? So blocks him. 1-2, kick out. They tie up again. Then there's some arm work by DiBiase now, going into a hammerlock. A bit of fucking chain wrestling and grappling going on the floor and stuff. They work the way back up where Orndorff hits the ropes, comes back, drop toe hold by DiBiase. Then he goes back on the arm. So it's all like arm work now by DiBiase. He's got him into like a hammerlock as they're working up. Then Orndorff gives him some back elbows. Like not just like one back elbow to break the hammerlock, but like 3 or 4. I'd have fucking broke it on the first count. I would have, because fuck me, they looked a bit meaty. Yeah, some back elbows onto DiBiase, and then so they're in the corner now at this point. DiBiase then gets whipped into the corner, but he switches it. Orndorff comes out, and then DiBiase goes for. This is a pretty cool spot actually. So he switches the whip into the corner. Orndorff comes out. DiBiase goes for a body slam as Orndorff's coming out. Orndorff slides down his back, so he's got him in the waistlock. DiBiase switches it, so he's got Orndorff in the waistlock. Orndorff runs towards the corner, ducks down. DiBiase goes right into the fucking top turnbuckle. Beautiful, beautiful spot. Really easy as well. Like, you fucking do that all day long, but it looks really nice. I've got ahead of myself there. I fucking told you the spot without even reading it. Where the fuck am I? Here we go. Then it's like from that point on, there's like heat by Orndorff. And then DiBiase tries to fight back. And then DiBiase ends up applying the figure 4 leg lock. Orndorff turns it on him. And they're in this fucker for absolutely ages, as now DiBiase's in it, and they're trying to like egg him on not to tap out. Now this is the fucked up situation. Like, you know, when they say like, you know, TV time remaining, well, that's what fucking Guan. So I was getting right into the match, and then like I lost kind of track of time down the bottom. Now I'm not sure. It says like the time limit was run out, but it was the whole match, because as far as I'm aware, it wasn't clips, highlights, or anything. It was like from start to finish, but it wasn't even 10 minutes long. It was like 8 minutes. That's just making me think it was like TV time limit rather than actual time limit draw.
Yeah.
But yeah, it kind of ended there, but it was fucking brilliant. And I wanted to like carry on watching it, but I couldn't. So it kind of pissed me off. But yeah, it was really good though. Really, really good.
Sweet. I am a fan of time limits. We spoke about this before, haven't we? And
yeah.
It legitimizes the sport, because there isn't every other sport, isn't there? You know, boxing only goes so many rounds, doesn't it? Football only goes 90 minutes, other than the fucking bullshit that they had on the end. You know what I mean? Everything's got a limit, innit? So
yeah.
I've kind of skipped a bulk of his early days and gone straight to the WWF.
All right, okay.
Versus Hercules. So he's babyface here. Hercules with Bobby Heenan. Wonderful with Umperdink. Didn't know that happened until I saw this. Commentaries: Bruce Pritchard, Mike McGurk, lovely, lovely lady, and Lanny Poffo.
It's funny you say that. I've got a fucking commentary with, I think, I've got Mike McGurk on one of mine commentating.
Yeah, I mean, I have heard it once or twice before on commentary, but not on a regular. Yeah, Bruce, Mike McGurk, and Lanny Poffo. Thought it was very odd trio. Hercules jumps Orndorff right off the start. Bosh. Out the ring goes Mr. Wonderful. There tries to help him back in the ring. Hercules keeps knocking him off the apron. He ain't letting him back in. Fuck you, stay there. He sort of holds on the top rope and pulls him in. Erk's facing the other. Wonderful gets in the ring, manages to sort of sneak in. Hercules throws him out the other side, but he holds on the top rope and pulls himself in, like Ricky Steamboat did.
Skin the cat situation.
Yeah, that's the words. Hercules is facing the other way, turns him round. Fucking Wonderful's unloading now. Bish bash bosh. In the corner is Hercules. He tries to whip him to the other side, and then there's 4 reversals, which normally looks sloppy as fuck. You know, when they keep swapping in the middle of the ring, it looks like they don't know what they're doing, and it's sloppy as fuck, innit? But I suppose here you've got Hercules and Mr. Wonderful, 2 like fucking proper powerhouses, isn't you? And it looks like they actually meant to do it. It wasn't a fight. It's just a show of power, isn't it? Really,
Right. Yeah.
and you know, it just kind of made sense for these 2 big dudes to do that. But yeah, 4 times they went round. It was like a fucking hoedown. There's a big boot from Mr. Wonderful, very Hogan styly. Then a bulldog. Hercules cuts him off with simply a washing line, but it's a Hercules washing line, so it's gonna fucking get you, innit? Short arm clothesline, very Jake the Snake styly from Hercules. Then there's like 67 pin attempts from Hercules. He's trying all kinds of ways to pin him. Wonderful fires up, but a knee stops him, and then a big fuck off bear hug from Hercules. Very power match this, like.
Yeah.
Bobby keeps telling the timekeeper to ring the bell. You know, I heard him give up. I ring the bell. Mr. Wonderful then out the bear hug, sort of slips down a small package Hercules, which is pretty cool. Hercules tries a slam, but Mr. Wonderful goes kind of over the top and spins him around and knee lifts him, which was like smooth as silk. That looked really good. Wonderful then with a drop kick, which is something you don't really see very often unless I'm mistaken. Mr. Wonderful then up the top comes down with like a fucking, just like an elbow, but just the one elbow, like you fucking, you know, very simple, but looked like it took his fucking ear off. And then the finish, Mr. Wonderful calls for the pile driver. First, he knocks Bobby Heenan off the apron because Bobby Heenan's like, pile driver. There's a pile driver. Then he pile drivers Hercules, gets on Hercules, but the referee is checking that Bobby Heenan's not dead. In comes Rick Rude, fucking clocks Wonderful, but he does get caught and it's a DQ. So Wonderful's over with a DQ. I thought it was going to be like, because the referee was with Bobby Heenan, I thought it was going to be like a fucking dirty and Rude cause the win, but
Yeah.
It was good though. Fucking big man, strong man shit. But it wasn't like your normal test of strength for 4 hours kind of big man. There was still some moving in it.
Yeah.
And no, it was good shit. Enjoyed that.
Cool. Boom. Right. My next one is, it says from the early 80s, so don't know the year, but it's from Columbus, Georgia. It's a house show. And it is a tag match with Orndorff as a face and Tommy Rich against the Masked Superstar and Super Destroyer.
I think I have these on a DVD. Some of these matches from house shows. Yeah. It's got quite grainy quality shit, but it's good to watch. I think it's the same stuff.
Yeah, this
no commentary on it.
Oh, there was commentary on this one.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah. There was commentary on this one. The quality is a bit iffy, but it's still you can still see what's going on, and it's not fucking. It doesn't, you know, like affect your viewing or anything like that. It's still, you know, all right. Yeah, this was a really good one as well. Actually, when I get to the finish, I still don't know what won after rewinding it 20 times, but it was fucking so good. But like, I had to rewind it. I've written it down as best I can describe it, but whether or not you know what the fuck I'm going on about, we'll see. But anyway, so yeah, the Destroyer and Orndorff start. Small sequence by Orndorff and tags in Rich, and they do some quick tags on the arm, on the Super Destroyer.
You weren't much more over as a babyface than fucking Ricky Morton in the early 90s in Georgia, in early 80s in Georgia, though, were you? Like he was fucking God.
Who?
That kind of Tommy Rich.
Tommy Rich. Oh yeah, Tommy Rich was fucking over as fucking. It's funny because watching the Masked Superstar shoots, he always brings up Tommy Rich in every fucking like whenever he talks about this period, he's always talking about Tommy Rich as a face, like literally fucking. He says that every great heel needs a great face, and if you were going against Rich, you're onto
Yeah,
something. Yeah,
gosh. And he never did anything fucking outlandish or dangerous or fucking, groundbreaking. But he was so over.
yeah,
Just, he had that fucking fire and that fucking. He was wildfire, wasn't he? And he
yeah.
had that fire and he had that fucking believability and he had that you can feel guilty. Not guilty. What's the word? Feel
Sympathy
sorry
for it.
for it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
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 fucking brilliant, Tommy Rich.
yeah, definitely. Um, so yeah, there's a small so they're doing the quick tags and everything. But the only thing I didn't like about this was there's only one point in the whole match where if I if I was to nitpick at anything, it would be this. I don't like people like as tag teams. I don't like people like slapping the back of their partner, and I don't like But this, like I don't see why he done it, but fucking Orndorff like stuck out his foot so Rich could tag his foot, but like he could have easily just tagged him with his hand because he was right at him. So
Yeah.
like I was just thinking like why? What like that was a bit odd to me. Like he was in control of his opponent, but he could have easily he was right there to tag, and he just like fucking stuck his foot out like for some reason. I thought that was a bit odd. But
You'd expect that now because there ain't no fucking rules, is there? But
yeah,
years ago there was. You had to have both feet on the apron for the tag. It had to be over the top rope. It had to be hand to hand. You know,
yeah, it's
it would have been an odd thing to see at that period.
yeah, definitely. I'd never seen it about.
To actually let it happen as well. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I let it slide, because I enjoyed the match, so I'll fucking, I let that one little blip go. But so
Do
what?
it again, Paul.
Okay.
And this is 19. Let's say this is 1982, right? 82, 83. Yeah.
That time, yeah.
I don't know who the destroyer would have been here, but the other three are still alive. That's going to be fucking rare for a tag of this period, isn't it? To have at least three of the four that are alive.
I know, yeah. It's fucking hard to get 3 out of the 4 in the early 90s that are still alive.
Yeah.
Never mind the fucking early 80s.
Yeah, you look at fucking SummerSlams, and there's like 4 out of a fucking card of 40, isn't there?
But it's even worse when you look at fucking Survivor Series, like the whole teams and shit.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry, so yeah, I'm getting words mixed up today, aren't I? I said Ricky Morton instead of Tommy Rich, and yeah, it's right in it. There's fucking 40 or 50 people on the show, and you get 4 or 5 that are still breathing and not dead.
Crazy. Crazy. So,
Anyway, tell us about this this tag.
Forgot what I was talking about now. Yeah, so he tags him with a foot. Yeah, so anyway, quick tags. Where are we? Yeah, Superstar gets tagged in at some point now, and then all of a sudden, fucking don't take it Rich long to get in control of Superstar. Then Rich is in control. It's all faces at the minute. Then Orndorff comes back in, all on the arms of Superstar and the Destroyer. Like whenever they're in, they're just getting arm work done to them. There's a point now. Orndorff takes the head of I think it was Superstar. Maybe he's got the head anyway on one of them, and then he's in a bit of trouble. Even though he's got the headlock on, he's been pushed towards like his corner. So fucking Rich does the blind tag there, to come in to like take control. So tags Rich in now. Now Rich is in the corner, and then like as soon as Superstar comes out the corner, because Rich is in now, Rich takes the head. So he's gone from fucking Orndorff on the head to Rich on the head, but he's still on the head anyway. Hang on. Well, so Rich has got the headlock on. Rich got the headlock on. I like this little spot actually. So Tommy Rich has got the headlock on. It is Superstar. So yeah, he's got the headlock on. Superstar shoots him off. Now you're expecting a fucking tackle, you're expecting this, you're expecting whatever, but he shoots Tommy Rich off. Tommy Rich fucking slides through his legs from the shoot off, Fucking Superstar turns around. Earlock takedown by Tommy Rich. Fucking beautiful. Looks so good. Different as well. Like, you know. There's a few pin attempts by Superstars on the floor, you know, rolling him over as he's in the headlock kind of thing. That goes on 3 or 4 times. And then they get to the ropes where the Destroyer is outside and there's a bit of fucking distraction work going on and whatever, this and that. And they end up cutting off Rich right there on the ropes. And that starts a little bit of heat and they end up throwing Rich outside. And great heel work, and the ref's doing a great job as well. I'm not even you know, trying to get the other face back, Orndorff back and stuff. But real good heat, like real good heel work from, you know, from the villains. I missed how he got tagged in, but he tagged Orndorff in. Orndorff, that wasn't even the main heat. Like the main heat's on Orndorff, but Orndorff gets tagged in now. I missed how he got tagged in, but he fires up, fucking gives Superstar a slam, massive knee drop, and then Orndorff ends up in the corner of the villains where the Destroyer cuts him off, just like in the corner. And that, I think that starts the main heat, like on Orndorff, because I thought Rich was taking the fucking main heat, but Orndorff comes in and gets fucking absolute fucking battered now. There's a sleeper by the Destroyer. Orndorff keeps trying to fire back, but ain't going in. Just heat. And then finally, he does get the tag. So there's Orndorff does a sunset flip, 1-2, kick out, then hits a drop kick, kaplow, fucking then tags Rich in. But not long after, this is like the finish coming up now. Rich gets tagged in. You know, Rich is with his fucking fire, looking brilliant. And then Orndorff comes back in, literally like fucking 10 seconds later. So all 4 are in the ring now. Now this is the finish, right? Fuck me, it was confusing. It looked so good, I had to rewind it about 8 times. But basically, because I was writing it down, like what happened, and I still didn't know until like the 7th or fucking 8th time of watching it, because it was like, it was really easy as well. Like it was just trying to place who was where. So they're in the fucking corner, and it sounds really, really easy. Like, but like if you can imagine, so it's the normal fucking heels and faces. So we've got the 2 villains, like a villain and a fucking face in each corner. So the faces are obviously in control at this point because they've just done the hot tag. But when they're in the corners, the villains take control. So now the villains are in the corners with the faces. So here we go on. So they go for the double whip to whip the faces into each other. But Orndorff switches the whip, but Rich doesn't.
Right.
So Rich is doing the running because he got whipped, whereas the villain that Orndorff was with got switched. But it's like, it's really weird because as they're like mid switch, so as Orndorff's like kind of mid switch, fucking, I don't even know how to fucking explain it, but as he does it, Tommy Rich fucking leaps over Orndorff and fucking crossbodies the villain. Like I watched it like about fucking 8 times and I still fucking struggle
Right, okay.
to.
So, for example, it's the Destroyer is whipping Rich,
Yeah,
Orndorff whipping Superstar.
yeah,
It's mid switch, so Tommy needs to be a little bit quicker than Superstar.
yeah,
So Orndorff's like in the middle of the ring, just about to do the switch, and he goes over the top to like
yeah,
almost Thez press him.
yeah.
Yeah, that was his finish anyway. The
You
Thez
are.
press one. That was Tommy Rich's finish. Was the Luthez press?
All right. So he does that. He done that. It was actually Rich doing that on the Destroyer because
Right.
as he's doing it, fucking Orndorff schoolboys the Superstar on the other side, so they're effectively both getting pinned. Who was legal or not? Fucking, it all went fucking
That's
guan.
cool.
It was really cool though. A really nice finish. I love like that fucking that era and like that territory, like that time was like really good. And I'm thinking I could be wrong, but like it was from Columbus, like early 80s. So who's like booking that? Would it be Ollie or?
I'd have thought it would have been, yeah.
Yeah,
He was there from fuck knows, forever, wasn't he?
yeah, that was like his fucking
Mm.
town, wasn't it? Really, like he was.
Yeah, he had money in that, didn't he? So
Yeah, because I remember like reading Ollie's book, and people always say like, like because he never really traveled, did he?
mm.
Um,
Didn't need to, did he?
that's the whole thing, and I always want like it
And
always kind of.
he had money in other territories that he didn't even fucking work in. Did he not? So, if money's coming in from staying at home, then fucking all right, bosh.
Yeah, I never really understood why people get criticized for not traveling or not. You know what I mean? Like if you want to do that, that's fine. But like it doesn't. It's not like it doesn't say anything bad about the guys that never did because it's not like they wouldn't have drew elsewhere. It's just they didn't fucking need to go elsewhere. If you've got it good where you are and you're happy doing what you're doing, like
If you think
why
about
not?
it, by the time you've paid all your fucking travel and all that bullshit, if you're home every night, you still got to pay your mortgage, but you're home every night, so you're only going like 3 hours away tops, yeah. When if you're staying out, you've got to pay you've got to pay hotel, you've got to pay, all the fucking travel expenses here and there for potentially the same money that you'll get at home. You lose money in essence, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Or you'll have to up your whole fucking family and move away somewhere. Take the kids out of school, fucking, and then do that every 6 months, which you hear a lot, don't you, from these fucking territorial wrestlers that they moved every 6 months, which means, moving the whole fucking family every 6 months. It's not going to do anyone any good, is it?
no, no,
Sometimes it's not always the money, I think. I mean, fucking, if you're living comfortably and you're home every night, you don't have to be a fucking millionaire.
no, that's it. I've always said that as well. Like I'd happily do it for so much. Like if I could make a living from it,
Yeah.
like I don't. Obviously you want something at the end of it, but I wouldn't fucking. It's not about to me. It's not about making as much money as you can. Obviously that's the fucking good part about it. But like you say, if you can do what you're doing where you want to do it,
Those that do make millions, good on them. Like fair play to them. But you know, you've got to take everything into consideration. If you're at home living with fucking mummy and daddy, with no other job, no family, no missus, no commitments, then going on the road 24/7 is fucking great, isn't it? Nothing else better to do.
well, yeah,
But,
yeah.
when you've got, other things in life, if
Yeah.
you could do some wrestling and still keep all of that happy, then fucking good on you. You can see why so many relationships break up, though, can't you?
Oh yeah, definitely. But
Feeling
I
like,
remember fucking yeah, like it was like when we were doing the camps years ago, and I had nothing. I wasn't in a relationship. I didn't have any responsibilities. I'd left my full-time job. I wasn't making much money, but I had nothing else. So it's like I'm gonna fucking not want to be at home, am I? I'm like, you know what I mean? But if you got fucking kids or whatever the case is and stuff, you want to be at home as much as you can. So
yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Right, my next one comes from that period where he did a couple of independents. The National Wrestling League, February 1991, and this was the main event of the show. Versus Ravishing Randy Rose, my other cousin, the Midnight Express. There's backstage promo first with Randy Rose saying he doesn't want to be in this town, but number one will be carried out on a stretcher. And then there's a promo with Mr. Wonderful that says he's never overconfident, and it's clear Randy Rose is overconfident, but he's never overconfident. He studied all the fucking tapes on Randy Rose. He knows his shit. He knows that any time he could get hurt, but he's ready, and he's very baby faced, very sort of believable promo, like because they'd never wrestled each other before, apparently at this point. But surely before they must have known each other, Randy Rose and Wonderful, but they'd never wrestled each other. So this is pretty cool. Right off, then Randy Rose offers the handshake, and then Wonderful goes for it. Fucking Randy kicks him. and just fucking unloads on him. Snapmare, kicks, fucking boots, uses the rope, shitload of cheating from Randy Rose. Reverse the posting, Randy Rose goes in, and a big fuck off kick, like drop kick from Mr. Wonderful. Randy Rose goes out of the ring, he's fucking angry, he's going ape shit, he's throwing chairs and shit, and he fucking throws a chair in the ring, to which Wonderful sits on. In gets Randy Rose, he swings at Mr. Wonderful, but misses, gets atomic dropped onto the chair. And Randy Rose goes out again. Fuck this, he's having a wander. He's going ape shit. He's throwing the fucking steps and fucking barriers are going flying. Randy gets in, but he's met with a fucking knee lift. Randy's selling's amazing. Proper fucking, like it was Rick Rude selling off the atomic drop and like fucking, it was just brilliant. Randy Rose does the fucking rocking chair thing like Terry Funk.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, he does that after the knee lift. He sort of goes through the ropes, and gets punched a few times in the rocking chair gimmick. Randy Rose offers the hand again. Then he sort of backs off and offers the hand again. Mr. Wonderful ain't taking that shit. He kicks him right in the fucking face. Bosh, have that. Wonderful takes the arm, slows it all down, and they've had the fucking shiny start, and now it's Wonderful in the arm. Randy Rose with the trunk sends him off for the tackle, tackles him, up he gets straight back into the arm. Randy Rose takes it to the corner, the referee goes between them, punch from Randy, which is the cut off, and now the heat. Your generic villain heat from Randy Rose. Don't need any more. It's a fucking independent show in fuck knows where. They go out the ring again at some point after like Wonderful gets kicked out of the ring. Randy Rose puts the headlock on, but then he goes into the corner post outside the ring. But he cuts Wonderful off quickly outside the ring. He goes for the pile driver outside the ring, does Randy Rose, but Wonderful backdrops him. Randy's straight back up though, because like Wonderful's groggy as fuck. Throws Wonderful back in. Just as Wonderful gets to the apron, he sort of cuts Wonderful off. Cuts Randy off, sorry. Goes up to the top rope, comes back off with his elbow again. Wonderful goes for a drop kick, but Randy holds the ropes. And the finish is a reverse of the whip. Randy's got his head down. Wonderful does the pile driver out. Very entertaining. Proper roller, like up and down, emotional fucking roller coaster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't all about fucking eye spots and shit. It was when and where to do your spots. Really, yeah, enjoyed that. I love me some Randy Rose.
Bosh. Right, well, match number 3 for me is at the Sam Houston Coliseum, December 10th, 1987, against Rick Rude. This was a fucking match and a half.
Some strong mans here, some strong mans.
I know. 2 right hard fuckers this is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, this is the match with fucking Mike McGuirk on commentary.
Lovely, lovely lady.
Yeah. That's why I picked it, because she's got her on, you see.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the match, I just listened to the commentary, you know.
Recorded the commentary for bedtime.
So yeah, anyway, fucking I don't know who the commentator is. I mean the fucking ring announcer, because I'd never seen him before, or I wasn't familiar with him, but he announces Rick Rude is coming from Tampa, Florida. Rick Rude comes in the ring, grabs the mic, calls the ring announcer a few names or whatever, and says, "I'm actually from Minneapolis, Minnesota." and I don't think the ring announcer has been seen since, because I've never seen him before. So there we go. And it probably got him sacked. So yeah. So Rude's in first. Orndorff comes in after him. Orndorff, obviously the face, and they go straight at it. Boom! As soon as he gets in, fucking Orndorff's all over him. Fucking hits him with a backdrop. Throws Rude to the outside. Goes to the outside after him. All on him. Fucking Orndorff rolls back in. Rude follows him in. This is a pretty cool spot. This is a fucking great spot, this actually. You know, you got the old gimmick where they go to shake the hand and the fucking face is like, shall I, whatever, whatever. The heel's like shaking his hand. Now, like, we always do it where maybe you'd go to shake the hand and the heel would go for a kick and get his foot caught or something along them lines. But fucking he goes to shake Orndorff's hand. Orndorff shakes his hand but pulls him into a short arm clothesline. So it looks
cool.
it looked really cool, that did. So yeah, it gives Rude the short arm clothesline. Hits Rude with an atomic drop, and the fucking selling on that. We always fucking mention that, but no one can sell an atomic drop like fucking Rude. It's a beauty. And then nails him with a punch after the atomic. He's all on Rude there, but Rude cuts him off with just a simple eye rake, gouge in the eyes, and then starts a bit of heat there by Rude. Rude throws him to the outside. Little bit of this on the outside and stuff. They end up back in the ring. Rude's got a nerve hold on, like on the fucking traps, like just working that for quite a while actually. Orndorff fights back a bit. Rude switches the whip. So Orndorff's fighting back, goes to whip Rude. Rude switches it. Orndorff comes back, reverses the hip oik. Fucking off he goes. Fucking sent him flying with that one. Orndorff, and then as soon as he's done the hip toss, he goes for the elbow drop, but Rude moves and misses the elbow, and then he's back on top, Rude. Orndorff switches the whip again and hits a fucking massive backdrop. Like they done a backdrop earlier in the match, like right at the start, but this one's 3 or 4 times the size of that fucker.
Fucking Rude flies on a backdrop, don't he?
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Because he's like,
and often lands on his arse.
Yeah, he does. He does. The funny thing is, like, I can't fucking land on my back taking hip tosses. I always land on my ass. And I always land on my ass when I get brought in the hard way or hip toss over the top. It's just certain things. I think because I'm worried about landing on my ear, I'd probably go like too far.
Overcompensate, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why I do it, but I don't know. But yeah. But no, Rude does it all the fucking time. So he takes a massive backdrop. Orndorff's in control. Throws Rude to the outside again. So this is like the 3rd time on the outside. Little bit of this, and then Rude comes back in. I actually thought Orndorff was going to get counted out, but he's not. Orndorff's back up on the apron, gives him a shot to the darb. Then the sunset over the top by Orndorff. Fucking Rude sits down, grabs the top rope. 1, 2, 3, Rude over. Fucking beautiful. Best match of the 4. That was
there as well, isn't there?
Eh?
Bit of everything in that.
Yeah. But that was a brilliant match. Like, you know, I don't really see any bad Rick Rude matches, to be honest. But yeah, I thought I picked that one because I just knew it would be decent. Like, you can't really go wrong with the pair of them, to be fair. So yeah, brilliant though. That was brilliant.
My next one was shown on television on the 30th of May, 1992. Smoky Mountain TV versus Tim Horner. But it was recorded at the Volunteer Slam, their fucking big show that they had for the heavyweight championship tournament. So this was for like round 1 of the tournament, like the first round match. So it joins it in progress because it was just like highlighted for TV rather than I have got the Volunteer Slam video. It starts with Tim doing like a fucking stinger splash to Orndorff in the corner. Fucking heads to the buckle, couple of post-ins. Tim runs in, but he's met with an elbow. Wonderful then tries a neck breaker, but Horner turns it into a backslide, which is pretty cool. Straight up gets Wonderful into a small package from Horner. Mr. Wonderful tries a suplex. Horner goes over the top into a sleeper. Wonderful's going down. It looks like fucking Wonderful's finished here. And then Horner just kicks him because I think he's going, Wonderful just thinks, Horner thinks he's going nowhere with it, so he just kicks him. Wonderful to the knee to fucking kick, like cuts Horner off with a kick to the knee, which will cut any fucker off. Tights were used to send him through the ropes outside the ring. Now this is the finish, which is fucking brilliant. So they're outside the ring doing all sorts of shit, and it gets close to the count, right? You think, if I didn't know that fucking Orndorff was in the final of this tournament, you know, I'd think this is definitely fucking double count out material. Horner's just about to get in the ring. He's got like 1 foot in the ring. Orndorff like hooks his other foot through the bottom, so he's getting in the ring. So his right leg is through the middle rope as if you're getting in the ring. So his left foot's on the apron. Orndorff hooks his left foot, so it's between the middle and the bottom rope, and pushes him, sort of locks his leg in.
Yeah.
And then Orndorff jumps through the ropes and sort of catches his feet on the middle. So he pins him whilst Horner's locked in and he's got his feet on the ropes. Beautiful thing. And it was all done quick as fuck. It was like shit, 8 fucking bum, 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 push, done, through. Have that.
Yeah. What year was that from?
92.
Oh.
From it was a part of the Smoky Mountain TV show, because I wanted to watch a match from Smoky Mountain, but I couldn't find any sort of individual ones. But so I found an episode that he's on TV. Yeah, it's the fucking finish was brilliant. I've done that fucking jump through hook on the ropes thing, and I've had people do it to me because I've seen it. Other people do it. I think it was Rick Martel I've seen do it before. And it's something I can do that looks pretty cool, and it's something that is cool to cheat. So I've done it myself, and I've had other people do it. But the whole fucking hooking the foot thing was right cool. Right, you got one more?
Yeah, it might. You've got one more as well, haven't you? It might be the same one. Because they're both from '95. Is yours from WCW Saturday Night?
It is.
Against Sting?
No.
Oh, well, there we go on then. Different.
May the 27th, mine.
Oh, mine's fucking May the 20th.
Oh, week before. There we go.
Was yours against Ming or Pillman?
Duggan.
Oh, okay. Well, the reason I say that is because here it's a US title tournament.
Right.
And they're saying that the winner faces the winner of Ming or Brian Pillman. So I don't know when that was.
Odd, because this is also a tournament, but for the Slim Jim Challenge, where the winner of the tournament wrestles the TV champion. So there's 2 fucking tournaments going on at the same time.
Fucking WCW.
Who's booking this shit? Is it Bischoff?
It would have been Bischoff. Yeah, it would have been Bischoff at this time, wouldn't it? Yeah. Fucking now, anyway. So, they tie up. Sting takes the head. Shot off. Tackle goes for a pin. We've said that before. We like how they go for pins after tackles instead of just, going in.
Pin after anything. As long as it's not going to kill the heat if there's some kind of spot. But a pin after anything, because that's the fucking aim of the game, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Yeah. Like, even like a back elbow, just whip him off the rope, back elbow, bosh, fucking pin. Like, Yeah. So, he does that. And then there's a lot of stalling. Like, he does the tackle, goes for a pin. Orndorff kicks out. And then they're like back to like stationary position where they're looking at each other, and like Orndorff's kind of chickening out. He's like going in between the ropes and stuff, like, shit like that, real like heel stuff. Then they finally tie up again. Sting takes the head again, shot off. But Sting holds on to the head. I like that as well when they get shot off, but holds on to the head so nothing happens. Like, he's just keeping the headlock on, because realistically, you probably could quite easily do that. Like, if you hold it tight enough in a legit fight, you're not going to let it go, are you? So,
like, I mean, I've totally been fucking. I've done it myself, and I know how fucking moody it looks. Because as soon as you set off the ropes, you let fucking go, don't you? It's just what you do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? And yeah, I totally get it, and I'm fucking 100% responsible for it. But it is so fucking. It is moody. You know, you're in the ropes. You get a step out, and suddenly you're free.
Yeah, it is. It is. But you know, yeah. So he holds that fucker on for a while, and then all of a sudden there's a back suplex from Orndorff, and that breaks the headlock there, and then boom. Well, actually, before the back suplex spot, Sting holds onto the head after being shot off. He's like keeps the head on, and then Paul tries to power out with like the top wrist lock, from the headlock,
Yeah.
and it looks like he's literally released the headlock Sting because he's in the top wrist lock now, and they go down so Sting's almost on the mat, but Sting like bridges up and puts the headlock back on him, so they totally released it, but then put it back on. That looked pretty cool. And then they go into the back suplex spot as he's got the headlock on, which I kind of like that because if you think about it, like Sting had the headlock on, Orndorff tried to shoot him off, Sting held on. Orndorff tries to overpower him, and he does for a little bit, but then Sting goes back into the headlock, and then Orndorff's like, fuck it, back suplex, boom. So he finally released it from that. So he's like tried the different ways, to get out of it. And then, hits the back suplex to finally get out of it. Back suplex, and then he goes off the top rope, but Sting puts the boot up, boom, right into the chops. Sting's in control a little bit, and then they do the hang time on like the fucking on the ropes, like the stun gun thing. And the commentators, like I think it was Bobby Heenan and Schiavone, and they kind of said as well, because I thought it looked all right, like the hang time, like it didn't look that bad, but like even the commentators like kind of said, oh, he didn't get all of it, or he tried to get his hands up and that. But to me, it didn't. They didn't need them to say that because it didn't look that bad to me. You know what I mean? But they were like, oh, he tried to get his hands up, but I don't know. Looked fine to me. I wouldn't have noticed any fucking. It didn't look like weak to me. It looked like it wasn't like the best looking one, but But I noticed fucking like I think JR used to say stuff like that, and it's like you don't need to. There's some things that like they don't look that bad, and they're like, oh, he tried to get his hands up, or he tried to, and it's like But that's just me, like nitpicking at shit. But where the fuck were we? So so they do this it does the hang time on the ropes. Then there's like heat on Sting thrown to the outside. Then they come back in. Then he puts the chin lock on. Orndorff's got the chin lock on. Sting fights back, and then he gets knocked down again. Orndorff goes for the pile driver. This is like the finish out of nowhere now. So Orndorff, it has generally been Orndorff for like most of the match. He goes for the pile driver. Sting like fucking throws him over, like the backdrop situation from it. Then applies the Scorpion Deathlock for the submission. Boom.
Easy as that.
Just like that, yeah. It was all right. The match was all right. It was probably the weaker of the four, the weakest out of the four, but by no stretch, like it wasn't bad at all. It was
There's been some quite intricate finishes to these Orndorff matches, isn't there?
There has actually, yeah.
And that one was pretty simple.
Yeah. Which is, it's weird, like, because, a lot of his, like, matches, it's kind of weird because his matches have been, like, there's been some intricate spots in, like, all of the stuff, or, like, different spots, not so much intricate, but just a bit different that you wouldn't.
Proper thought through spots, like, that fit the situation and the environment and the person he's wrestling.
Simple, though, but they just look good. They look different, but they're pretty... Like to put into action, like into plan, they're all right. They're pretty comfortable to do. I'd have thought just looking at them, but they're different and unique, so it makes them look like not easy. If you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, there's nothing intricate about this bad boy.
No.
27th of May, 1995. WCW Saturday Night Tournament winner versus the TV champion versus Jim Duggan. They call it the Slim Jim Challenge. It's outdoors in the rain, in the pissing rain, somewhere in Charlotte. It looks like in the middle of the street, like it's in the road. fucking hammering down the road. Eric Bischoff and Dusty are doing the commentary. Eric says the wrestler brings the scuba diving gear to the ring will win because it's that fucking rainy. Mr. Wonderful jumps Duggan, head to the buckle, then Duggan blocks it. Fucking in goes Wonderful like 73 times. Duggan opens up, then bish bash bosh, puts the face lock on. Big club to the back from Duggan. Duggan takes the arm, hammer locks it, kicks fuck out of him. Wonderful goes to the eyes to cut Duggan off. Duggan always like takes a bump kind of roll. Every time he gets fucking raked of an eye, he goes, hum, I love Jim Duggan. Whatever he does is fucking good by me. But, you know, taking a bump from an eye rake's very random. Wonderful does a chop and a kick, and fucking Duggan rolls out the ring, both on the floor. There's always out the ring spots in a Duggan in a Orndorff match as well, isn't there?
Isn't there? Fucking 3 in the Rude match.
Oh, yeah. So they're both on the floor now. And there's Hulk Hogan's racing car is next to the ring. So they fucking bounce off that a few times. But that cost some fucking money. Back in the ring, Wonderful tries to grab the 2x4 that's left in the corner, but Jim Duggan cuts him off with a punch. So the referee takes the 2x4, puts it out of the ring. Duggan fucking posts him, but he runs and gets the fucking shoulder charge, catches the corner. In the eyes again, and then there's a little bit more heat from Wonderful on Duggan. Duggan again takes him to the corner, does the 10 punch, and then again posts him, again runs at him, even though he fucked it up just a minute ago, and it's the corner again. It's exactly the same thing that just happened, which makes me think that the last time it happened should have been the finish. But it was a roll up, and then the job's a good one. But it was raining, and there was still more moving than I would have done in any of that rain. Like Duggan going to the middle for a 10 punch is pretty fucking moody in the rain, isn't it? Yeah, again, the weakest, but it's Jim Duggan. I could fucking all day and all night I could watch Jim Duggan, no problem. All in all, fucking Mr. Wonderful was fucking fabulous.
Yeah, definitely.
And, Wednesday we're doing the main event from New Zealand. Friday we're doing Harlem Heat. We've done some fucking greats here every Monday for the singles day, some proper greats. And next week we're going to continue that with another great, absolute fucking legend, Virgil. Because we can't always do the fucking main eventers. You know what I'm saying?
Had we announced Virgil yet, or was it?
No, I've just did. Fucking, yeah, we can't always do WrestleMania main eventers. Sometimes it has to be a shit kicker. But yeah, we say that, but how fucking over was he in '91?
Yeah, he was. He was coming off that fucking feud with DiBiase though. Like that was there was a perfect thing
on DiBiase. He fucking World was his lobster, and he had the connection with Piper as well, didn't he?
Like, yeah, I was going to say Piper helped him a bit there.
Yeah, that kind of helped him get over because Piper had the bad leg and shit at the time, didn't he, as well?
Yeah. Because they had the WrestleMania 7 match, didn't they?
Yeah.
And Piper was there, yeah. And crutches.
So whether he's Soulman Jones, Mike Jones, Curly Bill, fucking Vincent, he was in the West Texas Rednecks, wasn't he?
Yeah.
NWO, DiBiase's bodyguard. He was around for a long time, achieved nothing, but do you know what? He's cashed in on this fucking autograph thing, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like he's known for charging people extortionate prices for autographs that they didn't really want, and he's become known for it to the point that now he's using that to sell himself. It's genius. Yeah. It's marketing. Good on him. Right, yeah. Next Monday. We'll be back Wednesday for Steve Rickard's main event from New Zealand.
Yeah.
Later.